Hi there, Ann Morrissey, image and personal style expert here. And today I want to talk about Zoom. That's right, Zoom, because everybody's on it, but not everybody gets it. And I think one of the reasons is it's weird to see yourself talk. Everybody we talk all the time. We've been talking our whole lives. But it's one thing to do that, it's another thing to see yourself talk. And that causes some anxiety. And I've been having a lot of conversations with people in which they tell me they're obsessing over things like wrinkles and flaws and mannerisms and lighting. It just goes on and on. So I said, you know what? That's it. I'm going to make you a little web class so that you can know so that I can explain the 5 really common mistakes that I'm seeing and tell you what you can do instead. All right. So let's just jump right in, shall we? Number 1. Let's see here. Yes, bet you didn't think I was going to say that, did you? Showing up without thinking. Other words known as just turning on the computer and, letting it all hang out. Okay, that's not what you want to do because because this is different, right? It takes prep time. It's not like a phone call. And I know a whole lot of people wish that it was, but it takes some work to make it come off right. So let me tell you what I mean. When I have a client in person, or when I had clients in person, that seems like a long time ago now. One of the first things that I would ask them is three things: is give me 3 words, just three, to tell me how do you want to show up? What is your vibe? What do you want people to think when they see you and meet you? And a lot of times people are not, that's not quite on the top of their mind, and they struggle with that. Some people have it on the top, they can rattle off 3 words like that. But it's important. And the reason it's important is because when I'm styling people, I can make you look like just about anybody, right? I can give you any kind of vibe out there. So I have to narrow it down to find out how do you want to show up? Because it's not about me. So now I'm asking you, how do you want to show up? What is your vibe? Give me 3 words. And a little rule here. One of them cannot be professional. Don't use professional because that doesn't mean anything anymore. Okay? It's just one: professional for me, professional for you, professional for a banker, professional for, a venture capitalist. It's all different. So dig deep and come up with some words. Now, let me give you an example. Maybe you want to say, okay, Anne, I want to be bold, fabulous, and colorful. I'd say, okay, great. What about sexy, sophisticated, and smooth? Okay, fine. It really doesn't matter, but you get the point, right? Once you get that down, then you can begin to then you can craft your whole image. Because it used to be that we had from head to toe, right? That we had our whole persona and our whole presence to make an impression. And right now, that's no longer the case. All we have is this here. So we want to get it right. So those words that you come up with are the foundation for you coming across like a pro on Zoom. Let me see here. I know there's something else that I wanted to add to that. Now, one of the ways that you can do that is you go to your closet and you do what I call the love it or leave it test. So you've come up with your words. Let's say you want to be bold, fabulous, and colorful, right? That's an easy one. And you go to your closet and you're going to ask yourself 3 questions for every single thing in there. 1, do I love it? 2, does it fit and flatter me? And fit does not just mean you can get it on or get into it. And 3, does it add to the image that I want to portray? I mean, is it you now? If you can answer yes to all of those questions, then you can keep the item. So you want to bring some love into your style definition. Okay, this is part of thinking about it. When you do that, it's almost as though you come across in a much different way on camera, and you feel much differently about yourself. So number 1, I know that was a lot in there, but this is a pretty deep subject. So it's showing up without thinking. Don't do that. Make an effort. Effort is attractive. It'll pay off in the end. All right. Number 2. Oh yeah, this is a big one. Bad lighting. You've seen this. I know you've seen people do this. I'm not going to lie. Lighting is not easy. It's tricky, especially if you have a window where you are setting up your Zoom calls. Because, you know, you can have a call at 9 o'clock in the morning and the light might be perfect, but by 2 o'clock in the afternoon, everything's changed. Anyway, the major point that I want to make here is that you got to have the lighting coming towards you, coming towards your face. This is the way that it works best. If your lighting is coming from top down like a ceiling light, like in a bad dressing room, if you know what I mean, you're not going to look good. It's going to push shadows under here and you're going to look tired and older, and nobody needs that. So it comes in front of you. If it comes from behind you, if the light is coming from behind you, then we really can't see your face like we want to. And what I've noticed about these calls is that it's very distracting if you can't see the person's face. And, you know, when you're talking to someone in person, you can see their face. And, you know, so that wasn't ever an issue. But this, it almost feels like if too many shadows, or it's too dark, or any kind of thing like that, then it's distracting and it's also annoying, right? We want to see, the better we can see you, the better we can hear you, the better we can pay attention to you. So I have 2 lights on tripods that I had from when I was taking pictures of outfits and people's clothes. And that's what I use. And they have umbrellas on them. It kind of reflects a little bit here. So, you know, that would be probably overkill for a lot of people. If that's overkill, then you can just get a table lamp and sit it in the back of your computer so that it shines on you. You got to play with this a little bit, okay? It's not going to be automatic. You just play with what looks best. Or the thing that I'm going to get next is a ring light. A ring light is just that. It's a light that goes in a circle and it all shines evenly so that you don't have any shadows. I know you've seen people where they're sitting and their lighting is coming to the side, so one side of their face is light and the other side's all dark. You want it even, okay? Yes, this is tricky, but it's doable, and once you start to understand, you'll see that you look and come across so much better. Okay, this is a big one too. Wrong colors. So yeah, I have, let me get something here in my rack so that I can demonstrate this for you. Yes. Okay, here we go. Let me start by saying anybody can wear any color somewhere on their body, right? But it's the face, it's the color that you wear up by the face that matters the most. That's what you want to get right, because the face is the focus. And that's definitely how that it is in video calls. Like I said, we've only got this much, right? So the face is the focus. Now let me show you what I mean. I don't really like how I look in black. I think it's just doesn't really do anything for me. So I like to put on something. You see the difference between that? Okay, but even worse than that would be, for me, gray does not work. Let me show you what I mean. Oh, here we go. Okay. It doesn't even matter if I smell. See, it's not, this is a no. This is no, because I'm washed out here. There's nothing wrong with the color gray. It's just that for me, up by my face, it doesn't work. I could wear gray shoes, I could wear gray pants, I could wear gray anything, but just don't put the gray up here. Now, how about this though? Something totally different. Red. Ah, yes, I feel better, I look better. Color is energy made visible, right? So maybe you're a redhead, right? And red is not going to be right for you up here. That's okay. That's not what I'm saying. There's nothing wrong with any of the colors. What you have to do is you got to go into the mirror, you got to go get some clothes for yourself and put them up to your face and see what happens. It's either going to be a yes or a no. And if you can't tell, ask somebody, they'll tell you. Or if you don't have anybody to ask, then just try to think of the clothes that you wear when you get the most compliments. What is that? Okay? One more point in this particular number 3, the wrong colors, is, you know, a lot of people haven't thought about this at all. But so now I'm making you think about it. What if you have something like this? This is a lady's, something that I got from a lady's closet. It's very dull, it's very boring, it's linen, it's a nice piece, but basically it's straight up boring. And if you put this on, nothing is gonna happen. So if you have things like this, it doesn't mean that you can't wear them on your calls, right? It just means that you have to bring some life to the party. That's all. Just dress it up a little bit. Okay, so what happens if we do this? Let me try to get it right here. And all you're gonna see is this much anyway. Still not done. I think we need something else. Something sort of like that. Okay, you see? Now, you take something that has no life and you bring the life to it. Because it really doesn't matter how boring this is or if it, even if it really fits. What matters is just from the waist up, which is actually kind of nice. I found, where's my scarf? That you can do things in front of the camera that you can't do out in real life. For example, okay, so you remember my scarf here that I had on, and I took it off, right? So I can wear it as a scarf, but with just a little bit of creativity, I could turn it into a top. Let's throw on something else here, like that. And there you have something that's entirely made up, right? But can you tell? No, you can't. And in this way, you can grow what you have available for your calls. Now, some people might say, and look, it's quarantine. The world is in complete and total chaos. Who cares what I wear on a Zoom call? And I get it. You know, I get it. And if you're talking to your mom or you're talking to your friends, so what? Maybe it doesn't matter so much. But if you are client facing, or you are trying to influence somebody to purchase something, or you're on with your work, then I don't want you to take the attitude like, whatever, I'm just at home, it doesn't matter, because it does. And what I'm sharing with you are ways to help you kick it up a notch while you're at home. If you do these things, you'll feel a lot better also. It's very energizing to see yourself talk, and to see yourself back looking like you have a little bit of energy and that everything's gonna be okay. Yes, okay, number 4, we have over or under accessorizing. So yes, this is a big deal too, and you've kind of gotten a preview of it. I see a lot of people that don't wear any jewelry. Jewelry is your new power tool, ladies, whether or not you're used to wearing it. Now, so you see what happens? Yeah, you take it all off and you're just not finished. But what I have noticed is that the jewelry that I like, bold, fabulous, colorful jewelry. Now, some of the jewelry that I might wear out in public, in the street, that would look great where I'm going, is too much for here. And you're probably going to say, well, it's too much anyway, but everybody's got their own thing that they like. So I find that if I were to wear, something like this, what I feel anyway is that it's too much and it's too distracting, because you're probably thinking, God, that looks heavy. What is that anyway? And everybody knows that we're at home, so you don't have to just go overboard. This is not, to me, maybe if you're having your cocktail hour or whatever like that, but this would not be something that I think would be appropriate for a meeting or work time. What I have found is that smaller pieces work a lot better, thinner, right? You see, that's nice. It's really shiny. It's shiny and gold. And it's not so distracting. I've also found that there's pieces that I have had in my closet that I wasn't wearing for a long time because I thought they were just, I don't know, I was just over them, but hadn't really, this particular piece has a sentimental value for me. I got it in Mexico years ago. I hadn't worn it for years. I took it off, put the silver polish on it, and now I'm like, oh, I love it, right? Because it seems to me to be the right energy. So there's over accessorizing, which doesn't work. And then there's under accessorizing, which doesn't work. I like to tell people that you want jewelry you can see, especially ladies with a lot of hair. If you wear earrings but we can't see them, there's no shine, then there's no impact, and you're losing the impact that it could make. Okay. Last but not least, got to get this stuff back on or I just don't really feel like me. We have number 5. What do you think it's going to be? What do you think it's going to be? Let me get this out of the way. Background issues. That's right. Background issues. I'm talking about that. Now, you may or may not have guessed that this is background. No, I'm not actually sitting in my closet, right? It's actually 8 feet by 8 feet. It's on vinyl, and it comes from a company that you can send them any picture you want, and they'll send you back one of these. I don't move it. It's in my office, but I like it, right? I'm a personal stylist. I like, clothes and shoes and all that kind of stuff. So for me, it's appropriate. Now, I don't expect people to go to that kind of length. I got it about a year ago, I think, when I was doing a webinar, and I didn't want to be sitting in front of a bookshelf. I just didn't think that was cool. So what you want to do is you want to find, okay, there's a couple of things with this background. One, clutter is not cool. It's what you're doing is you're actually inviting somebody into your space, and they are judging your space. Yes, they are, because remember, this is all we've got to go on now to give us a clue about you. Is it messy? We get used to our own mess and our own clutter. It's easy to do. Don't even see it anymore. So one of the things that I suggest that you do is to take a picture of where you or have someone take a picture of you sitting where you plan to do your Zoom call and see what you think, right? From that, you'll be able to say, oh, I need to move this, I need to move that. One time I was talking to a client, she had a dead plant and a crooked picture and an old couch in her background. She didn't even realize it. I'm like, you got to move that away because we're taking meaning from everything. So arrange a spot, whether it is a blank wall, if that makes you the most comfortable. That would not make me comfortable. Or an area that's pretty easy to set up and down, and just have that be your spot, okay? And once you get it, and play with it. Just play with it until you feel like it's right. One last thing about background, well, actually this isn't background, so this is going to be number 6, is angle. And I could go on and on and on, and that's the whole point of what I'm telling you here, is that these are the top mistakes. But then we get into some more subtleties that we'll talk about in a minute. But number 6, you really want your angle to be right. I see a lot of people having their laptops down here and then looking up so we can see the ceiling fans, we can see, it's just odd angle. You don't ever talk to anybody like that. So, and then you have to lean over, and then you might see, wrinkles and chins and all this other kind of thing. Get your camera angle like you were talking face to face, eye to eye with somebody. That will be the most comfortable. Not up here, not down here, not over here, straight on. If you have to put some books underneath your computer, go ahead and do it. So Zoom is a stage. That is really how I want you to think about it. Zoom is a stage. And when it's your turn to talk, the spotlight is on you. That's the way that I want you to think about it, because that's what it is. And if you follow these steps, I know that they may seem a little simplistic. You will see a before and after that will really surprise you. And it won't be such a drag, and you won't be obsessing. You'll just be like, okay, let's hop on a Zoom call. That's fine. All right. If you found this valuable, which I hope that you did, just know that I have a lot more to tell you. I want you to go and visit my website, because I've got a couple of services that take this a little further that I think that you'd be interested in. It's morrisseystyle.com. The information will be on the back of this video. And that's all for now. Stay safe. Take care. Be well. Peace, love, and fashion.